Morning, everybody. I'm Don Dickson. Glad you're with us this morning. We're actually out here on the water. So, as we get this on the water training started, the idea is to give you the physical, the mechanical skills that will allow you to get that lure in front of the fish in the quickest amount of time. So as we begin our on the water work, we're starting with trolling. And I want you to keep in mind our separation point as far as the fish are concerned and as far as we're concerned is 8 to 10 feet, and shallower is what we refer to as the shallows. Our fishing in the shallows is different than our fishing in deep water. And I'm going to be explaining all of that as we go along. So we're going to start at the bank, or we're going to start at the grass line or the weed line in your lake. We're going to start in the shallows. And we're going to do what we call contour trolling, and I'll be describing it as we go. Keep in mind, we've talked about equipment as well before. If you don't have a trolling rod, you need to get one. If you're serious, you need to get a trolling rod. And a good service reel, and a non-stretch line like we used, a no-boat trolling line, which DuPont made for Buck years ago, still making it. Has no stretch. And it's important in your success to have the right gear. If you don't have the right gear, all of a sudden you get discouraged and you'll quit. You just won't stick with it. So it's important that you get the right gear. And again, I'm not building this stuff. Buck Baits is building it. So if you don't have one, you need to get one. But we're going to start today by contour trolling, and I have my oldest son with me today because I do want to show two people trolling in a boat. And when you have two experienced people trolling, you could outfish any 20 other boats on the lake. Now keep in mind, everything I talk about is to help you catch more and bigger fish. That's the deal. That's the reason I'm doing all this. I'm not getting paid. So don't get the wrong idea. I'm trying to sell you a trolling rod. I'm trying to encourage you to get one. And most of you know, if you go to my website, dondicksonfishing.com, and you scroll all the way down, it'll have a direct link to Buck's Baits. And by typing in discount 5, the number 5, you get an extra 5% off anything that you're ordering. So if you don't have a trolling rod, do yourself a favor, get one. And then I'll be showing you how to use one, and you'll see a big change in your success. Okay, let's get started. I'm showing you on the map, we got a whole bunch of deep water out here, and we don't know just where along this deep water section where we're going to find the fish. But hopefully by trolling the shallows, we're going to catch a few small fish. Normally would be a normal situation that would direct our attention to a certain area of where this deep water connects. So as I look down here and looking at the map, you can see it's about to that next point down there. This deep water stretches all the way down through here, and it looks like it's about 2.5 miles. Well, if you started casting that 2.5 miles to try to find your school of big fish, you'd be here all day and maybe not cover it all. But trolling, we're going to do it, and we're going to just discover how long it takes us to troll this situation, and we're going to be running our shallow lures. Now, as we turned out into the lake, we had shot our opening in a bay area. It was very quiet, there was no wind, and as we turned out into the lake here and wanted to start our training, I ran into a bunch of wind that was out there, and we had a forecast. This was actually the day that Tropical Storm Sally came through Miami, but we weren't supposed to have any of that, and they did not predict any wind whatsoever. In fact, they said if there were to be any wind blowing at all, it would be out of the southeast, which is the exact reason I decided to choose this particular lake, because all of this fishable water is on the east bank, and I knew that southeast wind I'd have lee water and be able to complete my training uninterrupted. But as we turned out into the lake and started down through this area for contour trolling, the wind was out of the northwest, and it was quite windy, and we had some audio damage. So I realized I wasn't going to be able to shoot the training right there. So I told my crew, my son and my wife, let's go ahead and just make a pass, a 5 and 400 pass down the grass line like we would have after the instruction, which I couldn't do. And we'll run down there this 2.5 miles, and I want to time it and see how long it takes us to make this run. And so that's what we continue to do, run this grass line with the idea that the wind would die down and would be able to get to the training in the proper way. Or if nothing else, that the wind would switch and come out of the southeast, because we're fishing the east bank, which was what I did on purpose, so I would have lee water to get the proper training done. But as it turned out, the wind never stopped. In fact, it got a lot worse. So the training, I just knew in my mind I had to postpone that to another day. That's all there was to it. We thought we'd continue just to see what would happen. And as it turned out, from a training standpoint, it got worse. But from a fishing standpoint, it got better. And a lot of very interesting things took place from a fishing standpoint later during that day. And I thought for sure it would be smart for me to show it to you, because it's going to tell you a whole lot about what it is that we do and what you can expect if you're going about your fishing properly. So stay with us and let me show you what happened 2 weeks ago today. So we just checked our stopwatches, and that took us 22 minutes. And we actually checked from the edge of the grass from 2-3 feet down to 6 feet by running the 2 different lures. So we checked from the edge of the grass down to 6 feet and did not catch one fish, not even one little stinker fish, which is pretty unusual. Most of the time you can catch a few of those. But we didn't. So that tells us one thing for sure. We have not missed some activity period today. Because if there would have been activity, there would have been some fish up there in the shallows, some little guys, of course. But at any rate, we're working and doing what we need to do. We know the fish are shallow, deep, somewhere in between. So we're eliminating the shallows. And the next lure, we're going to turn around and go back the same way we just came. But now we're going to go to the 250. We'll run different line lengths. So we'll be able to check from 6 to 9 feet on the way back. And we're going to stay in this area of the lake because all our deep water is out here. And it runs from here up to where we started, about 2.5 miles. Okay, now we're switching to a 250 spoon plug because this lure runs from 6 to 9 feet. And we've already checked from the grass line to 6 feet and covered that water. No fish. So now we're going to cover that 6 to 9 feet. And we're going to accomplish that. We're both going to be running 250s. But the minimum and maximum depth of this lure, 6 feet on the minimum and 9 feet on the maximum, is determined by line length. So on the way back up, he'll be on the inside. He'll be running a shorter line. He'll be running 8-10 layers. I'll be running a little bit deeper. I'll be running about 14 layers of line, counting my layers on the reel. Once across is 1. And as it returns back, that's 2. So I'll be dropping about 14 layers. He'll be dropping about 10. And we'll make a pass back up, and we're going to eliminate this water. So we know we're going to have another 20 minutes involved to do that. But we're doing what we need to do to locate the fish in the quickest amount of time. We're all fixed up, ready to make the pass back up the other direction. Keeping in mind that we'll be working 6 to 9 feet in relationship to the deepest water in this lake, which runs for about 2.5 miles. So as we started heading back up the lake running the 250s, as you can see, after about a quarter mile, it was getting really windy and I wasn't able to get good control because I had to throw out so much line. I had about 16.5 layers out because of the wind. I couldn't seem to get good control. So I told my son to reel in. We were going to switch to a 200 spoon plug, the next biggest size lure, which has a minimum depth of 9 feet and a maximum of 12 feet. So in essence, what we can do there is we can get the same exact depth with the 200, but we can do it with running a much shorter line, probably 10 layers, 11 layers at the most, to get the exact same depth. And we didn't go very far with the 200 until something happened. Now the reason I threw that marker is my son and I both hit a fish at the same time. I don't know if you noticed, but his fish took a hard pull right at the beginning and he lost that fish. In fact, that's the only fish he lost all day long. As you look out the back of the boat, you don't see any bass jumping out of the water. When you hit a bass when you're trolling, first thing he's going to do is come and jump out of the water for sure. And we have two species of fish in Florida in all of our lakes, and that is hybrid stripers and largemouth bass. I could tell it was a striper.
Yep. Yes, sir. Looks like
what they call in Florida sunshine bass. We just lifted them up in there.
Too bad I didn't hang on to the second side of that double header, though. Probably looked like this would have been good.
Flip them over the side. Now you got a shot.
All right.
We'll see if there's a whole school of them in there.
Ooh. Yeah, that one took a little run right there.
It's just all running through a school of fish. Bang, bang. They hit within a half a second of each other.
Tighten my drag down a little bit. I have. Ooh, yeah, listen to that. That's what you call TV drag right there. They do fight pretty well. Oh, no. Stay on. I think you're coming at the boat. You're going to fight in a minute. Yeah, there you go. Another one about the same size. Oh, this is a little bigger.
Play mine with my finger as opposed to, so I can be in total control of letting him go when he wants to go and not when he wants to go.
These jet ski fishermen are eyeballing every fish we catch, aren't they? Nice. Here, you want that one? Here, get the pliers. It's like they're all the same size. They're all nice.
Well, as you already know, all fish school regardless of species, and they always school according to size.
Every time you run a pass over it, they're there.
So by this time, it was pretty evident we were in a school of adult-sized hybrid stripers. Most of the fish were between 2 3/4 and a little over 3 pounds. School fish, all the same size. How many we caught now? 6 or 8, something like that.
Second double.
Here we go. Professional release.
Which way? This way? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Well, as most of you know, my wife is also my camera girl.
Point it.
But she also really loves to fish, and after we caught, I don't know, 8 or 10 fish, she said, enough already.
Ooh, it's a good
By
one.
the time you let Mama take a pass, so Donnie gave gave her his seed. She no sooner got her lure out on the very first
Lift him
pass.
straight in.
Like normal, she catches the biggest fish of the day.
See, you just let me fish once, and
It took you what, 3 seconds?
my line was out, and I locked up the reel, and it hit.
That is, I think, the biggest one.
No question.
Oh, we both have one. Woo! Mine's coming up like it's a bass.
That's the third double header.
Whoa! Come on, fish. Oh!
My friends, this is just a real great example how contour trolling can help you locate a school of fish. And it really doesn't matter if it's a school of hybrid stripers. It could be smallmouth bass, largemouth bass. It could be walleyes, northern pike, muskie. The procedure would be exactly the same.
All right. You're gonna have to take mine off too. Just because.
Wait a minute. People ask, swim forks catch fish? Yeah. They do.
Brass 200.
Woo! That's the fourth double. They are absolutely stacked right on there. Oh, we're tangled up. Are you underneath me or am I?
I think we're all right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're on the other side. I'll go this way. He ran over the top after he took it. 4 doubles for that mistake, right on that same spot. They are just stacked right in there. He's about to get angry. There he goes. Whoa! TV drag. Nice. Come back here. Another pretty nice one. They're all about the same size. He's still got some kick left. Ooh, I might need to be careful getting him in the boat. Double after double.
Well, since we knew exactly where that school of fish was sitting, you're probably wondering why in the heck we didn't go to the cast. Well, if you look at that wind out there, that's your answer. It was just too stinking rough to be able to anchor and control our fishing. So we just made a judgment call and went back to the troll.
More of the same, huh?
More the same.
There we go.
Nice job.
White redhead. Come here.
We'll have to call Scott Jenkins up and tell him to stock up on some white redheads.
The brass seems to be.
I don't know. How many we caught out of the school? How many would you say?
I don't even know. This is the 4th double. So that's just counting doubles. It's 8 fish right there on the double.
12, 13 fish all on just every pass. Now, mind you, we really wanted to go to the cast because we knew they were sitting right there, but it was just too windy. So we just decided we'd just continue to troll and see how long those fish stayed there. Now, as we were making this next trolling pass, I was having a conversation with my son. I was telling him about the good old days when I was promoting a lake or promoting a clinic or something of that nature. I would take the local outdoor editor out and take him fishing. And when I located some good structure and did my homework on my mapping and interpretation, I knew about where we ought to be catching fish. So I just played this little game and I knew about how much line we had out and so on and so forth. So if I was making a trolling pass, I would tell him. Once I saw that spot, I said, now you better get ready because I think you should be catching a fish right about now. And so I was telling that to my son. I said, once you know your spot, you know where the fish are, it's easy to call your shots. So let me show you what happened here. Now watch my rod tip.
5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, double. That's our 5th double. Our 5th double of the day. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. They are right there. Missed it by 2 seconds. Talk about the gas. Missed it by 2 seconds.
So we actually could sit anchored in about 7, 8 feet of water. Get those fish. I think mine came on.
We might be tangled again.
We could actually hit them with a 250.
Oh, are we twisted over? That's mine, I think. Come under here. There we go. I think I got him out underneath. Or is that yours? That's mine. All right.
Bring him in.
Here, hold on. We can go around him.
Just bring him in.
I think I can lift him up over your line. The 6th double of the day. Are you kidding me? 6 doubles in one day? I don't even know how many fish. I thought we were a little bit off that time. I guess that shows how much I know.
Well, 45 fish in 45 minutes if there's not a whole group of fish there. I hit him a little strange. He had a good attitude.
It's double number 6. Look at that, that's another good one. Whoa, take and drag, get the boat.
These rascals play hard, don't
Say, oh, jeez, that's a good one. Come here. I'm taking the speed.
I was going to say, we just came out.
Might be another throttle. Going underneath here. Is it still on there? Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Lift him right in. Another nice striper.
What are you two doing?
Having fun. Come on in here. Oops. Oh. I hit my rod there. Another one of them 2 There it is. I don't even know how many that is. I mean, you can't count. Over the side. Here we go. Holy cow. That's double hookup number 7 on the day. This one's not as big as the last one. Kicks. Still about the same size. Man. Want you guys to see something. See where the fish are? See where we're fishing? Look where he's fishing. Hey, the fish are here.
Now on this next pass, I asked Donnie to come back where he could read the depth sounder. And I was going to show him exactly where those fish were sitting and why they were sitting at that spot. And he was interested in having a good look at it, and he wanted to take a picture with his cell phone. And when I finally said to him, that's the spot right there. So by the time your lure gets there, you should catch one. Bang.
There it is.
Yeah, just like we planned it. Knowledge is the key, baby.
I was off by 4. They are stacked right on that point, man. Holy cow. Holy cow. You can't drive through them without catching one. At least this time it's not. Ooh. Oh! Okay. This one's a good one. Holy cow. This might be the best one.
You know, it really is a lot of fun being able to call almost the exact moment when a fish is going to strike your bait. And it all comes down to just mapping and interpretation. That's all it is. You do your homework, you'll be able to do that exact same thing as well. And as this day progressed, of course, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do out there. But my son was having so much fun. I was reminded when he was 3-4 years old with his little brother, they always just absolutely loved catching fish. And some 45 years later, he's still the same. He's having a lot of fun out there today. And I was having a lot of fun being part of it. And that's what fishing can do for you and your family. But it's way more fun catching fish than not catching fish.
He's going to bring you right in. Here you go, buddy. Woo! Man, they are stacked in there.
That's a big one.
Holy cow. Come here. Let me try not to put a hook in my finger. He was little, all those other hooks that we couldn't get out, watch this. Holy cow. He put up a fight and a half right there. That's a pig striper hybrid. There is fish. One more.
Hey folks, as you can see, we're getting blown off the lake. We got rain, we got wind. Very, very difficult. And I want the training to be thorough for you. And everything I was going to do this afternoon, I cannot do. Be with us the next time, but before I leave you today, I want to encourage you to go to my website, DonDicksonFishing.com, and order that ebook that we've just produced, The Daily Guide to Fishing Success, because everything we're going to be talking about over the next few months on the water is going to be correlated and tied together with the written word, which is the daily guide. Yeah, I know we've sort of missed the summer, but we got some terrific fall fishing ready to go. So don't take out the shotguns just yet. We'll try to do a little of both because it's a great time of year to be fishing. All that being said, I appreciate you being with me today. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. And we're looking forward to seeing you the next time when we really will follow through with this contour trolling and do what we weren't able to do today. So thanks again for being with me. I appreciate you, and we'll see you the next time.